Hello, and welcome back to Crazy Dave's Kitchen, or Chicken Wing Chicken. I still have my arm brace on from my broken elbow, but word is I'm going to be going and getting new x-rays next week, and hopefully we'll be on the mend. My doctor did give me a little bit of leverage with my arm, so I can actually make bread now, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. We are going to make homemade dinner rolls today. I made these for Thanksgiving a few weeks ago, and I'm going to make them again for a little holiday get-together with some friends, and so I want to show you how to do it. Now, I've been researching all over the internet and seeing people make these things all kinds of crazy ways. I'm telling you, my way is the best way. So, I mean, you can see, and everybody uses the word easy and simple and things like that. I'm just saying homemade dinner rolls. That's the way you want to do it. So I have some water here at about 100 degrees. I'm just going to pour this into a bowl. And then I'm going to add 4.5 teaspoons of dry active yeast. Do not use instant yeast on this. Dry active yeast is what you want. And we're just going to set this aside and let this, I'm going to switch it around a little bit and let this yeast bloom a little bit in the water. And then I have 510 grams of bread flour. To that, we're going to add some fine salt. And I'm using this Himalayan pink salt, fine Himalayan pink salt. This is going to work perfect for this. So you just add 1 teaspoon of the salt into the flour, and then we're just going to whisk this gently so it's kind of mildly incorporated, just like so. I also have, yeah, here we go. Let me just whisk this yeast a little bit. Looks a little clumpy in there, but it looks like it's separating out just fine. So to this, we're going to add 1/2 cup of sugar, just plain granulated white sugar. We're going to add 3 large eggs, just like so. And I also have 1 stick of butter that I melted on the stovetop, melted and cooled. That's the key word, is cooled. So we're going to go ahead and add the butter into here. And we really want to scrape this pan out and make sure that we get all of the butter. That is going to add some great extra flavor. Now we're just going to whisk this together, just like so. Now when we add our flour, we're going to add it a third at a time. And you can just kind of estimate what that might look like. And we're just going to stir it by hand. We're not going to be using the blender. So here's the one little trick to this. We're going to take this dough, we're going to cover it in plastic wrap, and then have it sit in the refrigerator for 3 or overnight. 3 hours or overnight is what we're going to do with this dough. So I'm going to cover it with plastic wrap, stick it in the fridge, and then tomorrow morning, I'm going to show you how to make these fantastic dinner rolls. All right, so it's the next day, and I know you were all thrown off when I said put this in the fridge, and you're like, why would I put that in the fridge to let it rise? It's called a cold rise, and by leaving it in the fridge for 24 hours, we get the maximum rise from the dough, and that's really what we want. But like if you're in a hurry, it's like I said, it's great for like the night before. So you're gonna make pasta or whatever the night before, or the next day, I'm sorry, and then the night before you make this, you'll have fresh rolls just in time for your dinner. So it's called the cold rise, and the 24 is the best. So we're just going to sprinkle a little flour onto our. We're going to knead this dough for a little bit to kind of get it nice and smooth. It's going to come out of here, and it's going to be rather sticky. So we're just going to take the spatula and try to coax the dough out. All right, so there we have it. Less than perfect, as always, because anytime I'm cutting something by eye, I always cut it wrong. So you really want to yield 24 pieces. So the amount of the dough is supposed to be stretched out to about 12 by 4. You cut it in half, and then there should be enough for 24 pieces. You can always play with it and fudge around. You'll see which ones are not quite the size. So now that we've done this step, we're going to cover this with a towel, and we're going to let it sit for 1 more hour. So a second rise of 1 hour. In the meantime, preheat your oven to 375 degrees. And then after the hour is up, we're going to bake these for 20 minutes, rotating the pan after about 10 minutes so that everything cooks evenly and bakes evenly. And when we come back, we're going to have, and you'll see, delicious everyday dinner rolls. Done mildly easy. So I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes, actually 23 minutes. I let these cook a little longer, but they came out great. Actually, I should have draped the parchment paper this way to lift, but as you can see, we can just lift this out of the pan, and this has been sitting and cooling for about 10 minutes. So what we have is really nice, pull apart, flaky, delicious rolls. And you can just see how easily these come apart. I mean, just simple. They're still warm. They're still steaming. They're very good. And I mean, just look at that. Look at the way they are. Just super fluffy, super delicious. And very easy to make. And brown. They're not burnt. They're brown. They're good. They're tasty. Highly recommend this easy roll recipe. Just super flaky. You can just smell the aroma, slather on some butter. It yields 24 rolls, so you're going to get enough for. I brought it to Thanksgiving to my parents' house, and there were plenty of leftover rolls, and everybody was able to enjoy a roll. Click below and subscribe to my channel. I have 106 subscribers now. Thank you very much for everybody who's subscribing. Underneath the link, you'll see a link for the full recipe. Let me try to convey my words correctly. Click the link for the full recipe. You can print it. You can put it on your iPad. You'll see you'll be directed to my website, www.crazy.daveskitchen.com. And soon to be appearing on the TikTok as well. Thank you again for watching Crazy Dave's Kitchen. super fantastic dinner rolls, easy to make, and we will see you next time.